Okay, I've got 9 o'clock. Let's go ahead and begin. I know there's Christy, and Carl will probably join us. There is Carl and Annette. Good morning, everyone. Before y'all sit down, we'll go ahead and get started. We're going to begin with a prayer and a pledge of allegiance. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for a new day today, and we pray your direction and guidance through this meeting. We thank you for those who have come today for various reasons. We just pray for direction and wisdom in the decisions that we make. We pray for Commissioner Fields as he continues in his rehab. We pray for Judge Woodson that you would be with him and heal him from the sickness that he's dealing with right now. We turn this agenda over to you. In Christ's name, amen.
United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, let me say welcome to everyone. Today, our second meeting of the month of October, the 22nd, 2018, and it's 9 a.m., and we'll move right on into our agenda. I'll begin with item number 1, which is our time for public comments and or requests for information on non-agenda items in accordance with our Open Meetings Act. Anyone like to address the court this time on non-agenda items? Catherine, would you like to take this opportunity? Catherine Kranz is running for office. I met her the other day, and she said she would be visiting various commissioners' court meetings, and she came to ours today. So welcome, Catherine.
Wonderful. Well, thank you very much. Good morning. I won't take up much time at all. I mainly just want to make sure everyone knows who I am. I am running for U.S. House of Representatives, Texas District 4, and that is 18 counties all across Northeast Texas, including Titus County. I have spent the last year visiting with community leaders and judges and commissioners and mayors and attending commissioners' court meetings all across the district. This is number 17 of 18. So I finally made it right before voting started, so I'm very excited about that. Although I have spent quite a bit of time in Titus County. Early voting starts today. Don't have to vote for me, but I hope everyone in this room is an active participant in our democracy and gets out and vote. It's really important. And I just wanted to say that my entire purpose of running is to divert resources into our small towns. I live in Emory, Texas, and we are underfunded in every way: emergency services, roads, schools, bridges, everything. And I think we need somebody that's going to be a champion for our small towns, and that's why I'm running. So I come to the Commissioner's Court, I sit, I listen, and I try to figure out ways that we can do better for our towns. And that's why I'm here. So I'm just going to sit and listen, and I appreciate it, and thank you very much. And I really enjoy Titus County, and I hope to come back and see you many more times.
Thank you. Appreciate you being here. Anyone else?
Well, Brian, I could introduce Annette.
Annette's here, all right. Go ahead.
Annette Willoughby, you can stand up with me. She is the county auditor in Camp County, and as we talked about the last time, we're going to switch. And Christy's going to become the auditor in Camp County, and Annette is going to come over here and work in Christy's position at Titus County, and we're very happy to have her. We're sad to lose Christy, and they're going to work. I mean, it's worked out really well because they're working with each other, showing each other what needs to be done in Camp County, and Christy's showing Annette what has to be done and how we do things over here in Titus County. It's worked out real well. They're going to be able to train each other over the next 3 months, and then the transition will be official January 2nd, I guess. Anyway, we're very glad to have her.
Glad you're here, Annette.
Congratulations.
We'll see you around, and remind us to say hi and introduce ourselves as she gets to know everybody. So we're glad you came today.
Thank you.
Anyone else? All right, we'll move right on into item number 2, where we consider our minutes from the last meeting. So this is to consider and possibly approve minutes from October 5, our last regular meeting of Commissioners Court.
Make a motion we approve.
Motion is made for approval by Commissioner Parker. Second by Commissioner Applewhite. All in favor of approval of this set of minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item number 3 is report from Road Engineer Roger Ledbetter. Welcome, Roger. Glad to have you back.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning. Good morning.
Give you an update on what we've been working on. On County Road 1250, we finished hauling wrap and processed the wrap with the bow mag and compacted the roadway. We are currently adding bottom ash to a couple of soft spots that we have out there that occurred after some of the first rains we got. This will stay a gravel road till next summer. Then we can do the finished work and surface and seal it. We're currently hauling wrap also to County Road 1820 and County Road 1910. Both of these roads are in bad shape. Depending on the weather, we will start processing the roadway with the bow mag. I don't know how, I'm not sure we're going to be able to do that or not. It just kind of depends on the weather. Or we'll just spread the wrap out and break it down with the grid roller into smaller pieces. We're trying to continue to run 4 mowers. We will start side cutting again. We currently have 2 side cutters that run. We still have 2 in the shop. And basically we plan on concentrating on patching potholes all over the county. I know we got potholes everywhere right now. Today and tomorrow we're going to have every road and bridge hand out patching potholes. And that's about all I got. Y'all have any questions for me?
Your side cutters, what's it going to take to get those up and running?
Time to get the parts in, get them put back together.
Do you need them this time of the year? Or are you trying to get them repaired? Or
Yeah, I run the side cutters all through last winter.
Okay.
You know, I mean, brush don't have to have leaves on it to cut. So.
Okay. So we're not holding off repairing those. We're trying to get them.
No, we're trying to get all the
repaired as
parts
quick
and
as you
everything, get them done. And once we get them done, I pretty much side cut all last winter. I'll side cut all this winter too.
Roger, will you stay around till we go over this bit?
Yes.
Questions, comments, gentlemen?
Only thing I've got is we received a letter from the Hintons last Wednesday about the agreement we had made with them about not getting in the ditches, and supposedly one of the tractors when they were mowing drove down through the ditch there, and they're have sent us a letter wanting us to address that. I want to offer my apologies for not having been on complete top of it. I knew they were in my precinct, but the last time that I saw them, they were still over around the Cookeville area, and so.
What exactly was done that was not acceptable?
They just rutted it up. They drove down through the ditch there
while they were cutting, or while they were doing what?
Well, they were shredding down that.
Shredding the right of way?
Yeah, yeah.
Did they get off the right of way?
Depends on your definition of where the right of way is.
That's you know what we got into before was the definition of the right of way, and it's close to it. I'll put it that way. I can't tell exactly, and not knowing exactly where the right of way is, I can't say for sure, but that's from what we discussed in this. It is on their property.
Had they not said anything, and if you had been there,
I would have just pulled the guy.
Would you have observed them doing something you didn't want them to do?
Well, according to this,
I'll ask you too. I'm just curious where each of us stand on
according to this agreement, I would have pulled them off right at their property line and had them go down the road to just past their property line and start over, go back over is what I would have done.
I'm curious what y'all thought.
I told my guys to just skip it.
In the future, or this?
Not always. Time? Just skip it.
Well, and they were over there, but they were still over there. If you told them,
apparently
they didn't skip it.
Apparently they didn't skip it.
Okay. Well, is there a happy medium between giving them some kind of service over there, cutting right of ways that we need to, and?
Well, she told me the other day, and it looked like that they probably had been mowing pretty much up to our. Up to the right of way, and so with the mowers that they were using, that they had the day before, and I don't guess they had changed, I guess it, or I say the day before, 2 or 3 days.
Back wing and a 10-foot.
Yeah, they could have took the 10-foot and probably mowed right at the edge. That's something that I probably need to get with them and just find out what, if they want to mow all the way out to the edge of the road and us stay completely off of it, that's fine with me. And I'm sure it would be with
that's what I was
too.
trying to do. I was just trying to get my guys to skip it.
Get
completely.
past it and go
Don't
on.
side cut, don't mow it, just skip it.
Yeah.
Well, do you think that's what they want, or do they want some kind of limited service?
I think
the way
it-
I understood, that she was the one that made us sign the agreement.
Yeah.
The way I understood it, whenever we signed that, we just supposed to skip it, don't mow it, don't do anything to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was,
Well, then how did it happen that we didn't skip it, if that's what your guys had been told?
New guy.
Don't know.
We don't
It
know.
could have been a new guy.
yeah.
We
One of the
just
new
signed
guys was out there and he, you know,
Okay.
if John was ahead of him, then, you know, John might not even paid any attention and he may not have knew where it started at now, so.
Judge, they mow about this far off the edge of pavement. The property owner does.
Yeah.
I mean, just about this wide. That's all that they've been mowing up there.
Well, whatever it takes for these people not to be unhappy with us, I think that's what we ought to really work hard to do.
I think so.
And I don't know the situation. I haven't been out there. I'm not going to go out there, but I will ask that, as sensitive of a subject as this has been, let's figure out a way to not let this happen
We can put
again.
no mow signs up right there at the edge of pavement, so our guys and whoever's out there remember not to mow it.
I'll leave that up to you all.
We'll get
We've done it in
together.
another location in the county already for some wildflowers, so.
All right. Questions, comments?
Do I add the no mow signs, Jimmy?
Do what?
Want me to add those no mow signs?
That'll be fine. I tell you what, I'll try to talk to them today and see if that, you know, they want to do that, and that way we can I'll get with you then as soon as I find out for sure on that.
Okay.
All right, let's, if we're complete with the report, let's move on into item number 4. Did we get a bid from
Yes.
Ergon? Did get a bid, all right. This was a follow-up for a provider for this emulsified asphalt. Apparently Ergon is the only supplier. Nonetheless, we wanted to get a bid from them, and so we do have a bid from Ergon Asphalt and Emulsions Incorporated. Okay, here are their bids. We've got, looks like 4 different products. A CSS-1, $2.43 a gallon delivered. CSS-IH, $2.43 delivered. CRS-2, $2.43 delivered. And then the one that's got a different price, CRS-2P at $2.73 delivered. Now I've got that same product. Here are the picked up prices. $2.30 instead of $2.43 on those first 3 products, and then $2.60 on that $2.73 delivered product. So a 13-cent per gallon add-on for delivered. This bid is for full transport loads of 5,500 gallons. Freight is based on a full transport load, even if a full load of material is not ordered. The common carrier bills demurrage at $80 per hour after the 2nd hour. Return freight is 1/2 of the outgoing tariff. Pump and hose charge $90 per load. Federal environmental fee will be added to the above prices at a rate of 4.49770 per ton for asphalt and polymer loads or .0015 per gallon for emulsion loads. Any questions on that? Any surprises there to anybody?
No surprises.
Okay.
Could we get a copy of that, Judge?
Yes. So there is our official one provider bid on that particular product. Need a motion to approve that if you're happy with those prices.
Motion. Go ahead.
Was that you? Commissioner Applewhite made the motion and Commissioner Parker second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All right, thank you. Roger, I don't see anything else on here related to you, so thank you very much.
All right, thanks.
Item number 5 is consider and possibly approve Glenn Calvert's proposal in reference to repair of the courthouse north entry steps. Glenn Calvert from Prefert Complex Designs was here at our last meeting, and I'll give you a copy of all these so that you can follow along. Carl, you want to look at these? All right, this is a 2-page document here. Dear Commissioners, the steps and landing have experienced significant deterioration over the years, and repair or replacement is necessary. As requested, the following is our proposal to do a preliminary investigative work for the north entry steps of the courthouse. This preliminary investigation will reveal if a repair will be adequate or if complete replacement of the entrance will be required. Upon completion of the scope of work described below, we will have information needed to produce design documents. These documents can be used as the basis for bidding and construction. A separate design fee will be provided at that time if requested. So here's the scope of this investigative work. And again, this isn't to repair it. We got to do some looking into the problem and decide what's the best course. Item 1, we'll core drill 2 holes in the landing and 2 holes in the steps to investigate the thickness, condition of concrete, and reinforcement status. Bush hammer isolated locations of the steps and landing to determine the extent of the freeze-thaw damage. Perform rebound hammer test to estimate compressive strength of the concrete in place. Investigate fill material below steps. Patch holes after the inspection, and then draft a report of findings and provide preliminary repair recommendations. Some of these items will be performed by a contractor rather than by Mr. Calvert and Prefert Complex Designs. Contractor costs are anticipated to be less than $3,250 and will be billed as reimbursable expense to the county at cost without markup. In other words, Prefert Complex Designs will bill us for this. Here are the fees for Mr. Calvert's services as a licensed structural engineer. We proposed completing the tasks on an hourly basis at the following rates: the licensed engineer at $135 per hour, an engineering intern at $90 per hour, and a structural designer at $80 per hour. Total costs for engineering services will not exceed $4,750. If you have any questions regarding the scope of fee structure, please feel free to contact me to discuss. We appreciate the opportunity to assist. If this proposal is acceptable, please indicate the court's acceptance by signature below. So we'll hope that this can be a repairable situation and not one that requires replacement of those front steps, but nonetheless this is an important entry point and we do need to get it fixed. I think we're all in agreement that utilizing local Prefert Complex Designs and Mr. Calvert, we would be comfortable with him. The question is, do you feel comfortable with the course of action they've outlined here?
when he when he was here, he implied, I understood him, I might have misunderstood him, but anyway, that we, the repair, there was a way to repair it. He used the term 10 years, probably.
I think that was his best guess at this point. Obviously, he'll know more after they actually core into that. I would say ideally, we leave those steps in place. We bust off the flaking concrete, refill it, epoxy it with some kind of seal where it won't continue to happen. And I guess that would be a best case scenario if we could get by with what I'd call a repair there, versus him saying, you know what, we've got to demo the entire set of steps out there and start over, which would obviously be a lot more costly. So we're going to hope for a repair, but they're not going to tell us what to do, and I don't think we should just do a repair until we know a little bit more about how bad the problem is, so that we can make, you know, a wise decision. We don't want to throw more money after a problem that's not going to last.
I want to clarify that we did get a bid, a minor repair bid for that steps from Big Dog. I just want to know, just put it out there, that we did get a bid.
I got.
You said the other day we didn't get a bid.
He did bid. He gave me a bid on it. But
I just want to clarify that in court to say that, know that there has been a bid.
Because the issue had been that you were challenged on the fact that we didn't go out for bids?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And then we did get a bid, and I'm not, like I said, I'm not trying to hide anything. I don't want to hide anything, and I'm not going to hide anything.
Yeah.
And I just want to get it cleared up, all the...
Well, I think going through this process will further define for us exactly the work needs to be done. And at that point, we'll make it clear to anybody who's uttered a word about interest in this project, okay, we now have a set of engineered drawings as to what needs to be done, and we welcome any and all comers when it comes down to a bid for the work to be done to repair or replace.
Well, I was just going to need to clarify.
Yeah. Okay.
well, let me clarify this. He gave a bid to a whole bunch, $147,000. Little things that David has showed him that need to be done around the courthouse. And specifically, I don't know what his bid was there, but it was just...
$9,500. Do the
$9,500, but it was wasn't plain, and I didn't understand. And I agree. I don't know what the best way to do.
Right.
You've handled buildings a lot more than anybody else here, but it's you know.
Well, I'm glad he gave us a bid. There's nothing wrong with him having given us a bid. But after we had an engineer look at it, you know, his repair job may be exactly what's called for when it's all said and done. But then again, there may be a different route in a repair, and we'll go back to Big Dog and we'll ask him, okay, we appreciate that first bid. We still want to see you bid this job, but here's here's what the engineer says exactly needs to be done. All right, what do y'all want to do here?
I make a motion we approve Mr. Calvert.
Okay, motion is made by Commissioner Riddle to approve this proposal that Prefert Complex Designs and Glenn Calvert is making.
I'll second it.
Second by Commissioner Parker. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Very good. I think that's a good plan there. Back to you. And I'll sign that. In fact, let me just sign it.
Brian, I'd like to ask something about that deal too. Is there, I know they, at one time, there was grant money and all out there to work on the older courthouses and bring them up to date. Is there any chance, or is there any way that we could check on that and see if there might be some funds available for us to do that? I mean, that, you know.
Never hurts to ask.
Yeah, I don't think that particular grant you're talking about
historical.
Yeah, because that's for historical, and we've already changed the whole
Okay.
looks of this courthouse
Okay.
from the 18th.
I didn't know, someone asked me that the other day, and I said, well, I'm not for certain, but I'll
We
try to
can
find out.
ask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a mandatory fix. This is a safety issue as well as a deterioration issue. Okay, item number 6. It's still around, the bridge lawsuit. The bridge too short going over the railroad tracks on Highway 271 South. After months and months of work, it continues to move forward. We've got at least 6 parties involved in this lawsuit, and our attorney, Mr. Bob Bass, has arranged for mediation, or at least will attempt mediation. And this is scheduled for next Tuesday in Houston, and he has asked that we have an authorized representative to represent the county. The plan is for myself and for Carl to go and attend this mediation. And this will not be a courtroom setting, but for those of you that have participated in mediation, we engaged in some of this back during the right-of-way purchase on the loop. We engaged in this in another lawsuit involving an automobile wreck that one of our deputy constables was involved in. And basically a mediator is hired and goes back and forth between the two parties who are housed in different rooms to see if there can be some agreement reached. And I don't know much more about it than that. If there are any of you that would rather go and be the representative, let's certainly talk about that. But at this point, I would, he has asked that we have someone authorized to speak on behalf of the county. I'll be glad to do that. You can have Carl do that, but we need to go down there with somebody authorized to take action. Now, I envision if we get close to an agreement, that I'll get you guys notified somehow, some way, so that you know what we're doing. And because I don't want to come home if we're fortunate enough to come to a resolution. I don't want anybody disappointed in this. So my suggestion would be myself, one of you, travel with Carl. He specifically asked for Carl to be there. But nonetheless, let's authorize one person to speak on behalf of the county.
I'd make a motion that you and Carl go do
Okay.
handle it.
Motion's made by Commissioner Riddle to authorize Carl and the county judge to represent the county in this mediation that will be on the 30th of October in Houston, related to the South 271 Bypass Bridge lawsuit.
Make a second.
Second is made by Commissioner Applewhite. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
I have no idea how this will go, so don't expect this necessarily to be over next Tuesday, but that would sure be good if we could avoid going to court. But this is the first step. Item number 7, discuss senior citizens meal center repair and maintenance with possible action. This is just kind of a general item here. There's not a particular specific repair and maintenance request, but James Webster came to me and said, I kind of need to know what you all want me to do. He said, I don't know who owns this cooking equipment down here, and when it goes down, who needs to fix it. So will you all please give me some direction as to, do I tell the people cooking the food and providing those meals, sorry, you have to fix that broken oven or that broken steam table or that broken vent hood, whatever the case may be, or do we have the authority to, or does he have the authority to go ahead and get any repairs that are necessary underway and get the problem fixed so that they can get back cooking that food as quickly as possible. My personal opinion, if we want to be in the business of providing a senior citizens meal center, providing meals to those folks that come, then we ought to be willing to keep the place maintained and make repairs as needed to continue that process and not argue with them as to whose responsibility this is. We did have a steam table that keeps the water hot for the serving line, needed a repair, and we did go ahead and repair that, but I wanted some clarification from you all as to future repairs there.
Last time when we rented that, I looked it up and I don't remember the number, but they get about $6 million grants from the government, from several different grants, and I don't remember the numbers. But I mean, I think that it's pretty nice that we furnish a place for them to run their business, and they are a company that makes money from doing this. Sort of like we had the outfit out of, well, I guess they used to do it out of Franklin County. The outfit there, they caught all the embezzlement going on. I think that these people should take some responsibility. We pay I guess the utilities. I don't know whether they reimburse us for all of them or not, but we maintain it, fix the roof. It's got a leak in it now. We're fixing that. I mean, I think we should do the building. I'm not sure how much of the tools that they use that they shouldn't fix it instead of us.
Well, the entity that took over after NETO has now said, you know, we can't continue on, you need to find somebody else. They have found somebody else. The price per meal that they receive is actually very, very low. If you would like to have somebody from ATCOG come down and explain this process a little bit more, I'd be happy to do that, and I'm sure they would be glad to address you all. So I don't know much about the money in this deal, but on a per meal basis, what they receive and is not what I would call a money-making situation. I wouldn't want that contract. But again, I don't know what all the details are there. And these expenses don't pop up very often, but I don't think that there's enough money, and then, you know, this millions of dollars, that may be for other things, but they certainly don't get millions to prepare meals here in Titus County. If you would like some kind of a presentation from personnel at ATCOG, we can do that to help us know a little bit more about what it is that we're doing. We don't feed a large number down there, but it is on a daily basis, and they deliver meals, they feed meals there at the center. And again, I appreciate your comments. What would you like to do as far as answering James's question?
I'd like to find out how much they do get, and how many, you know, they've got several locations that they do. This one outfit does now, that they serve meals. Marsh County is one of them. There's others. So, yeah, I'd like to get a detail of how much they do get for it.
Not a bad idea. I don't think any of us really know, and it'd be a good time for us to be aware of how this works. I don't know.
Well, ATCOG could tell you when they come. I mean, they'll be able to tell you when they come.
Yeah, I don't know what that name is. You know, the other one was Senior Citizen Services out of Texarkana, and I don't know what the new arrangement is. This is fairly recent, but it'd be a good time for us to get educated. Anybody else have a question here? I mean,
the table list.
I mean, if that's your, if I will arrange for that. As far as the issue that I'm asking for here, until we get information that makes us want to change our mind, I would ask that you authorize James to make the necessary repairs as they come up, so that, you know, unless they're over a certain dollar amount, if you want to establish a dollar amount that he can't exceed to get this stuff fixed, or if you want to say, no, we're not fixing anything down there. I just need to tell him something. We can change our minds and go a different course after you hear from ATCOG. So no, I don't want to table it. A decision has to be made every time something breaks. Either we're going to fix it or we're not going to fix it.
Well, I think we need to continue to take care of our senior citizens, but I would like to know a little more about it, but for now, I'd make a motion for James to go ahead and get it fixed.
You want to put a dollar threshold on those repairs? $1,000?
$1,000, yeah.
All right, motion's made by Jimmy to authorize James to make repairs as needed to equipment at the Senior Citizens Meal Center up to $1,000 without court approval.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Applewhite. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. If you'll help me remember to contact AdCog about getting somebody to come and address us. Item number 8, consider and possibly approve December 2018 educational travel expenses for new justices of the peace taking office in January 19. We have a situation where we've got not one but 2 brand new justices of the peace that will take office on January 1. They have some mandatory education that has to be done within that first year, and their first education opportunity is in December of 2018. So we have this situation that we've dealt with before, I think on a smaller scale, where do we pay for educational expenses and travel expenses before someone takes office? And I don't remember where this educational opportunity is. It's not here in Mount Pleasant, and I think it may be a week long. So we're talking about some significant travel expense to send somebody for a week of meals and hotel and travel. And we have Irma Dunn will be impacted, and then either Steve Hagan or Tracy Craig will be the other one. And in my opinion, this is something we ought to pay for. We want to get these people up to speed as quickly as we possibly can and not say, sorry, you're going to have to miss that December training because we're not willing to pay for it because you're not in office yet. So that's the predicament. What would you like to do? We've got Irma waiting for a decision here before she signs up.
I had to go to training we had before we were sworn in for Open Meetings Act, and I went to Tyler, and the county paid for that. I didn't turn in any reimbursement for travel. It was one day course.
I did not remember that. I remember I was wanting to go to the deal up at the Ag Center, and I turned in my $25, $50, whatever it costs, and it got turned down. So that's a real small item, but this one is not a small item. So I've given you my opinion on this, but I need you all's approval so that I can tell these people to go ahead and sign up or not, or pay it yourself.
If it's not required, there won't be any other training times like
I don't remember what that schedule is. The next one is like in maybe February or March or something like that. But again, you're delaying necessary information. Now, why would the state of Texas schedule new Justice of the Peace training in the month of December before they take office? Obviously, I think they think it's important.
I agree with that. When I didn't know what they was talking about, I was sworn in January, went down to that training in February, and I didn't know the words they were using, didn't know the meaning of them. So the next year I understood them a little bit.
Well, I know when I went into office, it would have been nice to have gotten some December training, but it wasn't available until January. They got it going pretty quickly. But this may be the first time that they've done this. I don't know, but I think we all know that JP is a complex job, and they're going to have to hit the ground running. I think we need to approve their travel and expenses before they take office.
I'll make that motion.
Motion's made by Commissioner Applewhite to approve And I'll get Irma at least to put together some kind of idea for us as to what the travel will cost and what the sign-up is and how much the hotel bill is, so that we can see that at the next meeting. But I would like to be able to tell her to go ahead and make your arrangements for that. So a motion is made to approve those expenses by Commissioner Applewhite.
I'll second.
Second is by Commissioner Parker. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item number 9, we, in our negotiations or our discussions with Higginbotham Insurance, they introduced us to an ambulance benefit for both local ambulance services and care flight ambulance services in, dire emergency situations. And they introduced something called MASA. They referred to it as a add-on benefit for employees, much like benefits that are offered through Colonial. This would be a benefit that would be paid for on a voluntary basis by the employee. There is not a cost to the county. But here's the situation that has come up. We've already had one retiree who will be retired after January 1 say, can we participate in that, and can we purchase that so that we have opportunity for that benefit? As we age, we'd like to have the comfort of knowing we've got a backup ambulance service, because most of these ambulance services are, in fact, virtually all of them are going to be out of network, and it's going to be a huge bill to that employee should they ever need that ambulance benefit. So, if someone is retired and we know that it requires a monthly premium, are we going to allow retirees to participate in this MASA ambulance benefit? And if you do, how can we relieve our accounting, auditor, payroll department from the headache of trying to get money out of a retiree who does not have a paycheck and we can't withhold that monthly premium from? So do you want to even offer this to retirees? And if you do, what would you be willing to, what would be a reasonable request of that retiree to give them this benefit and yet minimize the administrative burden? Let me read to you what Jessica with Higginbotham said, just to reassure you. I asked her, we wanted to make sure that the MASA benefit, there is no cost to the county. Judge Lee doesn't see any reason why the retirees could not take advantage of it. But, and if the Commissioner's Court needs to approve it. So she says, no, the county does not pay anything toward the MASA. Since almost all ambulance services are not in carriers' networks, the claim for transportation would be run as out of network. This would provide very little payment, and obviously there would be a heavy burden to the employee. Now, I don't know. First of all, we have to have a minimum number of employees participate in this, don't we, Christy, in order to even take advantage of it? I can't remember if it was either 5 or 10. I would think that they'll be able to get enough people that sign up for this.
Yeah. I think she's already had enough sign. And I haven't asked Sharon about it, but the retirees are already having to, the Colonial plans their own, aren't they?
Right now, they'll write, the retirees will write Cheryl a check for their dependents on medical and mental. And like if they were a retiree on Colonial, they work that out with Colonial, they pay them directly. So with this, I don't know if it's where you can pay MASA directly or what they would do.
No, we write one check. We write one check.
So, they could figure out what their opinion would be and add that to the check that they get.
Right, for the dependent coverage, yeah.
What if they don't have any of those other items and this is a one-of-a-kind deal?
You have to just bring me one single check each month.
If she notices in 2 or 3 months that they're skipping and not paying, then we have the right to work it out for a drop.
Well, it wouldn't be just that, but if they haven't paid it 2 or 3 months, I imagine mass is going to drop.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
Yeah.
But if we get the bill to pay also, we would have to make
We'd
sure
have to
that
track
we're
it.
paid and get to that bill, or we
Right.
get the notice on it. So we would have to watch that to see. We've got about 11, I'm not sure who's going to sign that, but no 11
Well, what if we asked for a 1-year premium up front? That was what my idea was, just say, if you want to participate in this, we need 12 months up front.
Because any of the rates are not that.
No, it's not high.
It's not.
I think it's like $16 a month or something like that.
I think it's $6 a paycheck.
You're just talking about a small amount of money that's just one more thing for sharing. Oh, I haven't gotten that check from so-and-so yet. I've got to call them. Oh, they're not home. I'm leaving a message. Oh, I got to call them again. Well, do I drop them? I haven't heard from them. So I would like to see you say, yes, they can have the MASA benefit with prepayment up front for the calendar year.
I'll make that motion.
Motion's made to approve that. Any discussion? Motion's made by Commissioner Parker.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Applewhite. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, Joyce, you got that? Court is approving the MASA benefit for retirees with prepayment of 1 year at the beginning of the calendar year. Item number 10, consider and possibly approve holidays for 2019. That time again, we have not added any holidays here, right? You didn't slip one in on this issue. Let me read these to you. New Year, this would be 2019 calendar year. New Year's Day is January 1 would be observed on Tuesday, January 1. That means we'd be working on the Monday the 31st and off on January 1, Tuesday. The next holiday would be Martin Luther King Day, Monday, January 21. President's Day, Monday, February 18. Good Friday, Friday, April 19. Memorial Day, Monday, May 27. Independence Day, Thursday, July 4. Labor Day, Monday, September 2. Columbus Day, Monday, October 14. Veterans Day, Monday, November 11. Thanksgiving, Thursday and Friday, the 28th and 29th of November. Christmas Eve, Tuesday, December 24, and that's Christmas Eve, and then Christmas Day, Wednesday. So that's just a suggestion. Be off Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. If you wanted to change that to Christmas Day and the day after Christmas, you could do that. But Christmas this year falls on a Wednesday. So if you have any changes you want to make to that, if you're okay with this, need a motion.
I make a motion we approve it.
Motion's made by Commissioner Parker to approve 2019 Titus County holidays as read.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Applewhite. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The Titus County Commissioners Court dates that we approve annually for 2019. Commissioners Court will be held on the second and fourth Monday of each month at 9 a.m. You'll recall that Commissioner Riddle has reminded us once again that he would like to see meetings at night. Listed below are Commissioners Court dates for 2019. Every one of these would be on the standard second and fourth Monday with these exceptions. I would recommend a move to May 24th, the Friday before the Monday holiday. October 11th, as we did here a couple of weeks ago, Friday before the Monday normal meeting. and then November 8th, Friday, before the normal meeting. So my personal preference is to get those meetings on Friday rather than coming back on Tuesday, but that's just my proposal here.
Make a motion, we approve them.
Motion is made by Commissioner Parker to approve as read.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Applewhite. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, item number 12, we're down to our oral and written reports of county officials.
Thank you, sir.
I guess most of your road and bridge bills will be in by now. We're carrying over about $860,000.
Now, there's probably still a few left out, but yeah, most of them are in. There's a lot of other bills on this last one we just paid.
Make a motion, we approve the oral and written reports.
Motion's made by Commissioner Parker to approve. Second is made by Commissioner Applewhite. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Our treasurer's report is item number 13 for your consideration.
What would be the items on the cash disbursement for road and bridge on precinct 1? $2,301. What would that be for? Huh?
Salary, that's all that's paid out of your precinct.
$300 was probably your mileage.
Mileage, anything that's coming out of your salary and your mileage, that's all that we have budgeted for the precinct. If you look at yours on that cash division already, by precinct 1, it will show what items other than payroll and taken out there. I can't remember if I had anything that's on there.
No, there's
We're going to have to explain at another time. Okay.
Make a motion. Motion's made for approval of the treasurer's report by Commissioner Applewhite. Second by Commissioner Parker. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item 14, approve budget amendments, if any. Carl, you got any?
No, not today.
No budget amendments for today's meeting. Item 15, sign pay orders and approve payments of our bills.
Make a motion to pay our bill.
Motion, Commissioner Parker. Second, Commissioner Applewhite. All in favor of approval, say aye.
Aye.
Item 16, closing comments. The COG has each year a grant opportunity for their counties to assist in their cleanup efforts. And, you know, we've made a major change in our cleanup days that we had offered in the past, and now we are going through the city and asking our residents to go directly to the landfill at any time they want throughout the year. And so how can we utilize this grant money? The suggestion that I would have, and Commissioner Riddle reminded me that there is still an ongoing tire problem. Would you all like to have a tire collection and disposal day and hire some kind of services to dispose of those tires? There's $4,500 of grant money available through the COG. And right now, the trash disposal, at least at this time, is not costing us anything. But I would hate to say we don't need that $4,500. And I'm sure we could utilize that and probably spend every bit of it and more with an emphasis on collecting tires and hiring a trash disposal company to come and tear those up and grind them up for us. So that sounds good.
I'm sorry. The city, if they take tires, they won't take tires out at the dump. No. Citizens can't take tires. They'll have to bring them to us, or if they're not. Well, they did bring them. They weren't supposed to before, but they filled up the dumpsters with them. But they, I don't know.
Well, we need to be open whenever they bring them, because I wouldn't want them to bring them at night, and then they're going to just dump these tire stores are just going to dump them
Well,
out.
I think we would probably, I would envision promoting a tire disposal week and have them bring them to a centralized point, and I'll find out. Who was the company that we hired before to dispose of those? Y'all know that?
I think they're out here.
The Paris, they're out of Paris.
That's the only one that I know of.
That's the only one I think that.
Yeah.
Was here that was do that and we budget that in the maintenance barn when we have that.
Last year I called a guy in Dallas to get a comparison with this guy, and they said, yeah, we'll call you back. A couple of weeks I called them again. They never did call me.
Well, the one in Paris is the one that the COG recommends, and I don't know if they come here and grind them up or if they just pick them up and haul them back to Paris. Not that it matters.
The ones that did haul them back to Paris.
Yeah, they were bringing a van in, and the sheriff was loading them. They load one of us, took a day, went out there and loaded them in the trailer, and then they hauled them back to Paris.
We'll worry about the details of how it works later on, but as far as going ahead and telling COG, yes, we do want to participate and we'll spend that $4,500 on tire cleanup, is that okay with y'all?
I've got one question, Judge, that has been brought to my attention more than once since the city shut the recycle and all off up there, and I don't know if there's anything we can do, but they've been asking me about newspapers and paper goods, recycling it, and a lot of people were doing it, and now then they can't, and that's something that I thought of when you sent that email out the other day, was, you know, possibly.
Well, if you'll recall, as we discussed, the recycling effort, unless somebody just wants to do their part to save the earth, there is no economic benefit to the county nor to the company that provides such services to do this. And we're just simply not small enough. Even in the large communities, recycling is becoming a no-win deal, and many larger communities are dropping this. So unless you just want to provide a recycling bin for your citizens because it makes them feel good about what they're doing, again, there's nothing that's going to benefit us. It is going to be nothing but an expense to us, and that's exactly what the city found out. And they're continuing to offer some kind of trash pickup services for their citizens, but like you said, they have not offered that to the county. And it's simply a matter of cost. If they were making money off of it or even break even, I'm sure they would say, yeah, y'all come on and bring as much as you want to bring, but that is not the case.
If I back to the tires, I'd suggest we let them bring tires anytime out of the shop, because if you don't, they're going to throw them in the culverts for we. I'd suggest this to be open. They could just bring them anytime they wanted to, where we pile them up behind the maintenance building, the citizens.
Would there be a place where the citizens could bring those after hours? I mean, could we make it real obvious and easy for them, maybe out in that grassy area up front? No?
I'd be afraid to do that.
Because they'd be, like I said, them tire places, the overabundance, piling them up.
Okay.
That's what
we get abused.
Yes, really abused, because then we've had truckloads of just dumped on the side of the road. Okay. And like I said, it's
some of the tire places that, I mean, they, rather than trying to get theirs recycled or whatever, or redone, they just find a place to get rid of them. If they're not a big, I mean, some of our bigger tire places, you know, they've got somebody that comes in just like we have and does it. But some of these other smaller places, they just find a place to go with them. And I think that would be a disaster if we tried to do it out like that. You know, it's just all ours.
This contract, can't say who it was, but back there at 49, they had big truck tires, I guess 20 or 30 of them. Yeah, throw them out there.
We don't want to get into those big ones.
Pardon me, I didn't quite understand. But if we put a place, they can take them another place? Is that what you said?
No, if we provide a place 24 hours, like you were saying, out at the maintenance barn, during our hours that were up, business hours, I think that would be fine. But after hours, a dump for after hours, I don't think so.
I think it'd be just like the dumpsters.
Exactly.
The first thing you know, those little people at service stations be dumping a pile of tires on us.
So we'll be getting
that's when I had to have a command where you can log in who's bringing stuff in, because what you're going to run into, we've had problems in the past with these tire places giving one of the local dairy wells $50 to haul off a load of tires that would have cost them $800 or $900 to have actually taken to a recycler. Well, that load size is still the same, and that person that got $50 for it, they've done everything from them in their pastures and the road ditches to stacking them up in their living rooms. And if we provide a place for dispose of them, they're going to collect their $50 and they're going to go dump them on us. Right. So unless you can, like I said, kind of keep track of who's coming in and out with those tires, where you can establish what's a business, or for that matter, what's an individual. If an individual is bringing in 60 tires a week, they're no longer an individual. They're a generator. I mean, they're in business. You know, if you got an individual that brings in 4 wore-out crawler tires a month, or a tractor tire or something, so be it. But when you get the ones that are coming in every 2 or 3 days with a trailer load, they're doing that to avoid going through the proper channels.
I'd like to discuss another issue, is these trash people that we've got paid for the trash facilities and stuff. I've seen a lot of trailers that are over top and trash is just blowing out the top of them. Commercial trash. Yes. And, you know, I think if they're going to have this, they need to have an enclosed fully trailer, even at the top, because I stopped a couple of them and said, you know, the trash is just blowing out. And it's more trash to get on the county roads, the highways, and the county roads. And they're not going back to pick them up. It's just blowing out. They got a tarp on it, it comes out, blows it out. And there's got to be a way or something that we could make them do the right thing and haul the trash. Our streets, main highways are getting bad. There's trash.
Do you know who these companies are?
There's two of them that's got trailers, and we've got tarps on. One of them got a pretty big size on the side, the other about a 4-foot size landscape trailer with a tarp over top of it.
The next time you see one, I would suggest you get a phone number or something, and you got to go back to the management rather than whoever's driving that truck.
Right, that's right.
But you can do that, and maybe we can figure out a way to.
I know they got to make a living too, but it's cost us, we've got trash, more trash than we ever had on the highways now.
So what we've done, have been doing here the last several months on those, is they're either cited for illegal dumping, for littering more or less, or they're cited for unsecured load. Generally, when I catch them, if they're at the road speed and it's not tarped, they're going to get hit for unsecured load. You know, if they're stopping every 15 feet, picking up trash, I understand why that tarp's not pulled back. But when they, when they're out on 127 running 50 miles an hour, all the hatches need to be backed down. And that's pretty much how me and the other deputies are handling that.
Yeah.
But again, you've got one company that's got a fleet of those high-sided utility trailers, and then there's another one that is pretty much a loan proprietorship guys, one-man show doing it, and it's hard to catch all of them in one, each time when this is going on.
So you all are enforcing it when you find them.
When we find it, yes.
Because there's a bunch of, this just blows. It's not just a little, it's a bunch. I picked up a big bag off the road after, it just, I didn't want to be hit, and just scattered everywhere. So I picked it up myself. Sorry to trash it is. That was a big 5-gallon drum trash bag.
Could you mention that to the state?
What's that?
The trash along the highway.
They've got at certain times of the year, I think they got people that will go by, they're allocated to pick them up.
5 miles out?
Yes.
Yeah,
On the farm roads.
Yes.
They're supposed to, they got people that picks it up on the farm roads.
Can anything be done about boas that throw the empty sack in the back and then drive down the road and flies off? I mean, is there any mentality level on stopping them?
It could, the sheriff's department, if they see it happen, they could.
Yeah, when it blows out the bed of their truck in front of you, that's pretty much a given there. They're going to...
Please stick it over.
Let me wrap up these comments here. I wanted to give you a report on Commissioner Fields. Let me tell you what his daughter Susan has told me. This is quoting Susan, who's sending me a text earlier today. Mike is doing better each day. Yesterday he was eating in the dining area. When we got there, he is able to stand on his own without assistance. He can move his right arm and right hand, but doesn't have full control yet. His face still has pretty severe paralysis, but will continue to improve over time. His speech is much better now. He can say the sounds B and P, and you can understand him. Possibly looking at going home Friday afternoon, and will begin daily outpatient rehab. His team of doctors will be meeting to discuss it this week. He said he is ready to come home. He said he's ready to come home. He still gets pretty emotional when he sees the grandkids and great-grands. He told me yesterday he is so happy to still be here. I guess still be here, still be alive, not still be at that rehab facility. And I asked her about visitors and exactly where he is. He is able to have visitors, and he does enjoy getting to talk to people. However, Dad's schedule is different every day, so there is no specific time to give for visits. You just have to go and wait for him if he is busy in physical therapy. He is at UT Health in Tyler, formerly ETMC Tyler. It is in the Olympic Plaza Rehab Facility located across the Skywalk, room 402. So I guess if he gets what he wants, he'll be home this weekend and we'll begin some outpatient rehab. So that's all excellent news. Please keep Judge Woodson in your prayers. He is not out of the woods by a long shot. I was there in his room on Saturday. He has been taken off of sedation medicine so that he can wake up and hopefully will wake up, but he is not conscious yet, although they have seen some slight improvement. There is still no determination as to what will be the extent of his damage once they get him back conscious. So still a serious need for miraculous recovery there. Early voting has begun. Don't forget about that in our nice facility there across the street. And then regular voting will begin, of course, we'll have one day on the 6th. Remind you guys, it is that time again to have our December training at the Ag Life Extension offices. Early registration, $40 before November the 30th. If you will let Carolyn know, she will make those arrangements for you. But we are hosting this District 4 Northeast Texas Continuing Education Conference, and we'll have our typical good presentations there from 8:30, a lunch, and then wrap up about 3:15. That will be December the 6th, the first Thursday of the month, as they always do that. Okay, save the date. You're loading me up. Mark your calendars here for 61st Annual V.G. Young School for County Commissioners Courts. This is February 19 through 21, College Station, Hilton. College Station, February 19 through 21. If you want to mark, you can get your hotels, you can get them there at the Hilton Conference Center if you act quickly. Registration opens Thursday, November 1. If you want to handle your own, or if you want Carolyn to do that for you, we want to be able to get on the phone quickly on November 1 at 9 a.m. to get those hotel rooms made. As you know, they go quickly. All right, that's all I have. Commissioner Riddle, do you have anything to add?
No.
Commissioner Applewhite? No, sir. Okay. Commissioner Parker? No, sir. Anyone else in the audience? All right. Welcome, everyone, and thank you for being here. With a motion to adjourn, we'll conclude today's meeting. Motion is made by Commissioner Applewhite, second by Commissioner Parker. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.